Running on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
And I know it's a lot of things been going on in the world today. I mean, a lot of things. A lot of things. Where do I start? Where do I start? Well, um, geez, I don't know. First, we had an insurgent campaign about to pop off with Brother Cornel West, and he started out with the People's Party (MPP), and then he left the MPP because of the way they ran the organization and the lack of the ability to be serious, and with the issues with the black people in the campaign, blah blah blah. Moved over with the advice of Chris Hedges. Moved over to the Green Party. Began to work with Ajama Baraka and Jill Stein, and for some reason that didn't work out. I guess they got these things that you got to go through if you're going to be at least campaigning, because it wasn't a given that he was going to be the nominee. So I don't know why a lot of people are acting like, well, he's just going to win this thing, so let's get behind him. No, it's not. It wasn't necessary that he was going to win. He still had to go through the party hoops, just like the Democrats. That's why I am not for parties. That's why I believe in the abolishment of political parties. You should be able to just have a person who polls well, and they get on the ballot, and they become the candidate. If they're polling at a certain amount of numbers, they get to be on the ballot, and they get to be the candidate. We don't need parties. We just don't. All we need is great platforms, great policies and procedures, and a person to push it. That's all we need. So I guess that did not work out with Brother West, Cornel West, so he decided to run independent. And a lot of the people on the left lost their mind. So before I go into anything, I'm going to give you my opinion on the Dr. Cornel West direction in running for office. He could have ran for the Democratic Party. He could have just ran for the Democratic Party and been, and from the jump knew that he was going to be derailed. The Democratic Party was not going to let him get an edgewise. Even if the polls number went up, they was going to move the goalposts, and he would have missed the mark, and he would have been out of the debates, out of the race, the whole 9 yards. So we knew working with the Democratic Party was not going to do nothing for Dr. Cornel West. MPP was looking for somebody to help get their name out there, and I get it. But we knew that was not going to work either, because there's no real structure. There's no real political movement on the ground. None of that. Then we went over to the Green Party. Now, a lot of us bought into that. A lot of us said, yes, the Green Party is the best place for Dr. Cornel West. Not understanding the Green Party have their own situation. They have their own problems separate from, just like any other party. They're not perfect. And the policies are there, but, and a lot of them are robust policies. Don't get me wrong. Give me a moment. Buble. But they have these internal hoops that you got to go through. And if you, especially in New York, if you really understand the Green Party here in New York, man, you're going to be jumping through hoops like you some kind of show dog at a circus or a seal. And in this point in time, you ain't got time to do that. You should have did that a long time ago when you first start running in the Green Party. Plus, you haven't even got a nomination yet. And a lot of us who are popping our mouth off was wondering why Bernie Sanders didn't run in the Green Party when he was screwed by the DNC at the final hour at the convention. We said that he should not join Hillary Clinton. He should run green. Jill Stein tried to recruit him. Was willing to put him on the top of the ticket. And a lot of us was excited, hoping that he did that. And then we had no excuses. We said, no, at least he would have had ballot access and things like that. But we had no excuses for him not to run, but he decided not to run. And that was at the final hour. A lot of people like myself say he should just run independent. He should have run independent from the jump start. He already got some level of name recognition. Now, I didn't know Bernie like that. I knew some of his policies, but I wasn't really rolling with him like that because I just wasn't, I'm not that type of guy that's into political parties. And I just knew he was an independent. He had a different take on things, and he was like a maverick. Him and John McCain did not 100% toe party lines. They bucked up against the system. And that's where my respect came from. Even John McCain, he bucked up against Republicans. I'm glad somebody was willing to bunk up against him. So he got some level of respect from me that he was able to push back on the Republicans. Same thing with Bernie Sanders. But we don't have too many pushbacks of people in their own party willing to call their own party out. Now, Cornel West is an independent at this moment. And I remember when Bernie Sanders was screwed, we were saying he needed to go independent at the last minute. Now, my question to you, if he did go independent at the convention, we only got at that moment, 4 months to election day? How in the hell was he going to get on the ballots? But these same people are getting mad at Cornel West. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it was a good move for Cornel. I think he should have stayed in the Green Party. But I understand where he came from with the loops and stuff like that. I would say just get through the loops, get the nomination, and move forward from there. Him being independent. It is his right. You may not like it. You may not like Peter Dowell. I don't trust Peter Dowell. I believe he'll sabotage his Cornel West's campaign if Cornel West don't take a dominant lead over his campaign and not willing to kick Peter Dowell out just like that. And remember, Peter Dowell left Marianne Williamson because she wasn't really pushing ballot access. Now, Cornel West explains that the reason I decided to go independent is because it will help me get ballot access quicker and easier in some other states than I would as a Green. And I don't know if I really believe that or not. I trust he knows more than I do. I trust he have people around him that know more than I do. I trust that Peter Dowell isn't the only wise counsel he has, that he had multiple people that he's working with that's on the ground. But the people that's going to make it happen is really the people like you and me. A lot of people, because of the Jimmy Dore situation and the way Jimmy Dore has pushed, let me put it this way, the way Jimmy Dore has put his mouth on Cornel West, whether he's right or wrong, a lot of people that supports Jimmy Dore is saying, hey, Jimmy Dore is right. Let's say Jimmy Dore is right, because I don't hate Jimmy Dore. I'm not vicious toward Jimmy Dore. I mean, I rock with Jimmy Dore on some things, and I don't rock with him on some things. Same thing, I rock with Tim Black on some things, but there's a couple of things I won't rock with Tim Black on, but I respect and I honor Tim Black. I try to respect and honor those people who doing things in media that I'm not doing. And I try to learn from them. And I try to see things that I will not do and the things that I should do. And I see a lot of will not do's over here in this area because, number one, I will not be questioning this man running for president on TV or in a space where millions of people are watching him. My main goal is, what's your policy? How you plan on implementing it? And what are you going to do to help garner the base, to get out there, make phone calls, make things happen for you in this election? I'm with you. All this other stuff, I could talk to you off camera. I don't need to talk to you because we're going to have a disagreement. It's going to show both of us looking like, my granddaddy said, man, when you got an idiot arguing with a smart individual, when somebody walk by that person, you don't know which one's the smart person, which one the idiot. Because it's idiocracy to be arguing over some of these things, especially in a public space. Debating in a public space. Some things should not be brought to a public space for debate unless you agree to do a debate. If you got any questions about something that you don't like, that you want me to happen, want to happen, you don't want to happen, talk to me. And if I feel it fits what I do, I'll push it. If I don't, I won't. Move on. Leave it alone. Don't get mad at me because I don't go with your flow. Now, Cornel West is running as an independent, and a lot of people saying, well, he's dead. He's dead. I would not say his campaign is dead as long as he's running. A lot of people say Bernie Sanders' campaign was dead on arrival. A lot of people say Donald Trump campaign was dead on arrival. Dead. I leave nothing. I always have some kind of hope that I'm going to be proved wrong. And I'm quite sure the people who saying he's dead on arrival hope that Cornel West proves them wrong. In some cases, I have to say some of the moves that Cornel West have made will make you think that he's proven these people right. What? Running for independent? What? Because he don't agree with how he should present his campaign to the masses? I don't know. I try not to get in that. People have their own opinion, their own views about an individual. And they say you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your fact. The fact is Cornel West is running. I do believe he's serious. His strategy, I question. I think he need more people on the team. I think the number one thing he need to be pushing is reparations, not anti-war. Anti-war can be on the ballot, but the number one thing he need to push to get the black vote is reparations. Still as many black votes as you can, and then put some things out there. And he does have some of these things on this platform. Some things that's going to pull the left to your side. At the end of the day, folks, Cornel West has the most progressive platform in history. I don't even think FDR's platform was this robust. But we're talking about him not being serious instead of talking about the platform that can give him the generate the base to be more serious. Cornel West should be working with Shama. Hey, I'm butchering her name. Work with her to agitate the working class to support him. If you combine the labor force and have the labor force back Cornel West, his chances of winning is even more greater. Now, majority of the working force, over 80% of black people is working class. If you push that right, you'll get the black vote. If you talk about what you're going to do for the black community more than anything, Cornel West, when you're in their eye, when you're in their space, when you're in their area, you focus only on the black community, not black and brown, indigenous, LGBTQ, none of that stuff, just the black community. When you're around that black audience and you preach that, you can probably garner more black votes. See, when Trump goes to black neighborhoods and go into black church, he don't talk about black and brown, LGBT and IFC and DCC. He don't talk about none of that stuff. He talk about the black vote, even though he sound big at doing it. What the hell you got to lose? You know, I'm your guy. What the hell you got to lose? At least he's talking to them and only them. When you go to the working class movement, you talk working class language. People don't, when you come to Trump country, Trump country ain't all racist, white, redneck bigots. Majority of them are working class people. A lot of them are former Bernie Sanders supporters who would support you. You talk to them about the things in your policy that's going to get them out to vote. So, folks, this idea that he's dead in the water and things like that, I don't buy that. Now, I'll get to the Cornel West and his talk about the war or so-called war between Palestine and Israel. But let me put this stamp on this particular segment about Cornel West's future. I believe I'm not going to give up on the guy. You might give up on the guy. I'm not going to give up on the guy. I'm still giving him a chance. One thing he must do to get me 100% on board. I don't care about any other thing on that platform but this. Get that guy doggone study for a commission or study team for reparation. No, we need reparations. This is how much. Now, my colleagues would say go to Sandy Darity and work with him to get the numbers. I say go to Claude Anderson, who's been doing this for a long time for the sake of the community, not for the sake of a university, but for the sake of a community. running these numbers, doing the research. He need to employ people like Claude Anderson and Sandy Darity and a couple other people who been doing this for a long time on his team and come up with a number and come up with a policy and a strategy to make it happen. That is the only thing I care about. Let me take my glasses off. That is the only thing right now that Bob TV is focused on.